In the next 60 seconds, you will learn about all the major latencies that happen in a system, starting from the request sent to the response received. Let's take one concrete example. A user is in New York. They request for some product details. The backend and DBs are deployed in Singapore. Now let us follow this one request end to end and see the latencies introduced. Starting with the network latency. This happens because the data travels from the browser to the backend over the internet. And the main cause of this issue is the physical distance between the client and the server. This can mainly be reduced by using CDNs or maybe serving data from regions close to the user. Number two is the queuing latency. This happens when the request has reached the backend but has to wait in a queue before execution. Possible reason could be all the worker threads are busy under load or CPU memory are completely exhausted. Possible fixes would include horizontal scaling, rate limiting, or load shedding under extreme load. Third one is the processing latency when the backend is actually executing the application code. This can be mainly caused due to long synchronous calls or blocking operations. To reduce this, systems usually move the non-critical logics to background jobs or remove unnecessary synchronous calls. Fourth one is the database latency, and it often dominates the overall latency. This happens when the backend fetches the data from the database. Cause of this delay is mainly due to disk access and heavy operation like join queries. Systems usually reduce this by caching, denormalizing RAID-heavy data, or avoiding cross-region join queries. And the final one is the serialization and response latency, where the backend prepares and sends the response. This is not so prominent but can be fixed by reducing payloads, avoiding overfetching of data, etc. So these were the major latencies a request experience end to end.